Hello, everyone. Can you guys all hear me? I had to play with my StreamYard, so I want to make sure you guys can all hear me and everything's working good before I start. Hello to JoJo, which, excuse me, she said she probably wouldn't be here. Gingerluck's mom, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Austin James, hello. Life is a gem, hello. My one and only Samara, hello. I think that's everybody right now. I don't think there's any newbie. Oh, Cypress, hello, Cypress, good evening. I'm good, Austin. How are you? It's been a long day. Because I promised you guys I would do a crime live today. So I got up early and I did all my errands and cleaned my house and did all the mom-wife things. And then I sat down and I worked on this crime. I did pick a crime that didn't, hey Carla, Charlie Girl says, I did pick a crime that doesn't have a lot of info. It's a pretty, how do you say it? You know how there's some crimes that have a lot of detail. Hey Top Cop, have a lot of detail and stuff. I love cases like that, but to do the research on them takes forever. So I picked a case, hey Kimberly, T.L. Hodge. So I picked a case that wasn't really a lot of research to do. Plus, I know this case really well. I was really intrigued by this case when I read about it a long time ago. I have watched pretty much anything that had Dateline, all those crime shows have done Skyler, Neese. So I've watched all of them. So I'm really familiar with this case, which made it easier for my research also. Some things in my research I couldn't find, but I did remember from interviews with the parents and stuff like that. So I was able to add that stuff in there. So I hope you guys are all ready. I know I've been missing crime. I've been missing doing the research and getting my hands in there. And I'm glad that I was able to pull it off for tonight. I'm glad that my life has slowed down a little. And I'm able to take the time to focus on what I need to be doing for you guys. Hey, Sunny Side Up, Hemdell, hey, how are you guys? I'm so glad you're all here. I guess there's a bunch of people that are excited for some crime. I know I am. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes, a few more seconds and stuff, let everybody come in. I just went live, so did everybody have a good day? I hope everybody had a good day. I did. It was a stressful time, a stressful day, but I got a lot done, so I feel good about that. I was able to get a problem solved that I was really stressing about, and I was able to figure that out, which lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders, so I was happy about that. I made some appointments. I got some doctor's appointments coming up, which I'm dreading. I hate going to the doctors, but it is what it is. So let's start, shall we? So as you guys can all see, we are doing the Skyler Neese case. Let me pull up my notes and let's get into it. All right. So, Skyler Annette Neese was born on February 10th, 1996 in Morgantown, West Virginia. She was the only child to Mary and David Neese, which makes this case even more sad. I mean, obviously, losing a child is heartbreaking as it is, but losing your only child is just, I think, even more heartache. It just broke my heart to know that this was their only child. Skylar had bright blue eyes, a gift from her mother, the most beautiful ivory skin, and the cutest dimple on her chin. Skylar went to University High School. She had a 4.0 GPA. She wanted to become a criminal lawyer. When Skylar wasn't in school, she was working at Wendy's with her two very best friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf. The three of them were stuck together like glue, always together, sleeping over each other's house, three-way calling each other, texting when they weren't together. Just three best friends that did everything together. July 4th, 2010 was a scorcher in Star City, West Virginia. It was what would become the hottest month that year. While some escaped the heat by going to Morgantown Mall to watch The Amazing Spider-Man or Magic Mike, or heading down to the river to cool off, 16-year-old Skylar was moping around her family apartment beyond bored. She was feeling ditched by her friends who had gone away together. She even tweeted her frustrations, sick of being at, I'm going to use her words because these are her words, so excuse my French. She tweeted, sick of being at fucking home. Thanks, friends. Love hanging out with you all too. Now, from what I've read is prior to July 4th, Sheila and Rachel and Skylar had a falling out. They had a falling out, but around July 4th, they had made up, which we all know. Friends fight. When you're together at 16 years old and you're together all the time and you're hanging out and you're with each other night and day, you end up getting on each other's nerves. It's kind of like a brother and sister thing, a sister and sister thing, you just do. So they ended up having a falling out, but they ended up making up when they came back from vacation around the 4th of July. So, Skylar's mother, Mary, tried to give Skylar some ideas to help her boredom, like reading books. Skylar loved to read. I keep losing my place. Sorry, guys. Skylar loved to read. She was just getting into the classics. She loved The Great Expedition. By July, Skylar already had gotten a jump on the required summer reading, so she wasn't really feeling reading. Skylar just wanted to be out having fun with her two best friends. Before going to bed, Skylar tweeted again, saying, "Stress will be the death of me." On July 5th, 2012, Skylar returned to her family's Star City, West Virginia apartment after working a shift at her job at Wendy's. Skylar's parents were watching TV. Mary was sitting in her overstuffed recliner, and her father, Dave, was laying on the couch. Skylar kissed them both and told them she loved them and that she was tired and was going to bed. The last time they saw their only child was in a grainy black and white video at 12:30 a.m. She was sneaking out of her ground floor bedroom window in the middle of the night. Her purse was over her shoulder, her hair swinging as she hurried across the small parking lot to a waiting sedan car. Skylar climbed into the back seat of the waiting car. Her parents said she didn't take her cell phone charger and she left her window open with a stool outside the window. So when she came back, she could get back in. Skylar was planning on coming back home, her parents said. When her parents watched the video, there was an urge to call out and tell her, "No, don't go." But the door closes and the car pulls away and she's gone. On the night of the murder, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Soph had invited Skyler to sneak out with them. Skyler, who had recently had a falling out with her two best friends, was initially hesitant. After a bunch of phone calls and texts from the girls, Skyler changed her mind. At 12:30 a.m., Skyler met up with her two best friends in the parking lot of her apartment and got into what we now know as their four-door sedan. Law enforcement determined that Sheila Eddy was the one in possession of the car. The three girls then headed northwest from Star City towards Blacksville. They had planned to travel along West Virginia Route 7, but turned around after spotting the state police car parked in front of a gambling lounge. Just a month before, the three girls had snuck out and were caught by police driving after curfew, so they didn't want to get caught again. They finally made it to their destination, just across the Pennsylvania state border, a spot where the three girls would sometimes stop to smoke pot. Sheila and Rachel had been planning this murder for months. They left Sheila's home prepared to carry out the assault on Skyler, bringing with them kitchen knives, paper towels, bleach, clean clothes, clean cloths, and a shovel. They hid the knives on their person and hid the remaining items in the trunk of Sheila's car. When the girls were finally out of the car and at their smoking spot, they had told Skyler that they had forgotten a lighter. Skyler, being the kind of person she was, said she would walk back to the car and grab her lighter that she left in the car. "Hey, misdemeanor. How are ya?" Once Skyler came back with the lighter, Sheila and Rachel began counting to 3, their agreed upon signal. Upon giving the signal, Sheila and Rachel began to stab Skyler. Skyler tried to run away, but was only able to run a few feet before Rachel tackled her to the ground and continued to attack her. During the attack, Skyler managed to wrestle the knife from Rachel's hand in an apparent attempt to defend herself. Skyler was able to cut Rachel in the knee, but Sheila was behind Skyler, stabbing her as well, and continued to stab Skyler until there was complete silence. And according to Rachel, until Skyler's neck stopped making gurgling sounds. How disgusting is that? Oh, that just creeps me out. That Rachel would say that. Until Skyler's neck stopped making gurgling sounds. These are 16-year-old girls. I can't even imagine. And this is their best friend, which I have pictures for when I'm done that I can show you. And I'll talk more about things that I know. But Sheila and Rachel attempted to bury Skyler. First, dragging Skyler to the side of the road, which would not work because the road ran along a creek and the soil there was too hard and rocky to dig a hole. That was their original plan. They set with rocks, falling branches, and dirt. Sheila and Rachel then returned to the car to clean themselves in the murder scene. After completing the cleanup, Sheila and Rachel left the scene, disposed of their bloody soaked clothing, and returned to their homes where their cover-up started. The next day, after learning that Skylar never made it to her work at Wendy's, Dave and Mary contacted the police to report Skylar missing. At first, police considered her to be a runaway, and an Amber Alert was not immediately issued in connection with her disappearance. Dave and Mary knew their daughter would not run away, so they contacted anyone they could think of, including Skylar's two best friends. Sheila and Rachel told Skylar's parents they had no idea where Skylar was the first time they spoke to them. Then Sheila called Mary back and told her that they had snuck out of the house, but that Skylar was worried about being caught, so she asked them to drop her off at the end of the street, and that was the last time they saw her. So when they pulled the video at the apartment and they saw Skylar getting into the back of the car, Skylar's parents thought that after she snuck out with her two best friends, she had came back home and snuck out again because nobody knew who owned the sedan was, and the girls said it was not them. So when Dave and Mary looked at the surveillance video, they didn't recognize the car. It wasn't a car that they recognized. Now, mind you, it was in black and white. It wasn't in color, and they didn't recognize it. They asked the girls if it was their car, and they said no, that she must have came back, but they dropped her off at the end of the road, and it wasn't her car. Sheila and Rachel helped pass out flyers and cried with friends. Sheila even spent lots of time at Skylar's home, being there for Skylar's parents. Finally, police determined that the unknown sedan that Skylar was last seen getting into belonged to Sheila, and they interviewed her. She told the police what she told Skylar's parents, that she had picked her up but dropped her off an hour later. The FBI and the West Virginia State Police joined the search for Skylar on September 10th. Now, if you guys remember, Skylar went missing July 5th. Here it is, September 10th, and they finally get the FBI in to help find this girl, and began interviewing Skylar's school friends. The break in the case came when Rachel admitted to plotting with Sheila to kill Skylar when the police were sent to her house after her parents called because they couldn't control Rachel and she was out of control. The motivation Rachel gave for the murders was they didn't like her anymore and they didn't want to be friends with her anymore. After the confession, Rachel led investigators to Skylar's body. On March 13, 2013, U.S. Attorney issued a press release stating that the body found in Township Greene County, Pennsylvania on January 16, 2013 had been identified as the remains of Skylar Neese. Skylar's remains were found less than 30 miles from her home. Skylar's post-mortem examination revealed more than 50 stab wounds. On May 1st, 2013, Rachel pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. The court's transcript indicated that this is really hard to get. This one breaks my heart too, and that's why people need to learn to talk. The court transcript indicated that other students overheard the girls talking about the murder plot, but failed to report it, thinking they were joking. So these girls were not shy about what they wanted to do to Skylar. They obviously talked about it in length around other kids, and these other kids just thought they're best friends, they're just joking, they're just fighting, whatever. They're not really going to do it. But when Skylar and Neese ended up going missing, none of those kids instantly thought Sheila and Rachel. Rachel received a sentence of 40 years for killing her best friend. On September 4th, 2013, West Virginia prosecutors publicly identified Sheila as the second alleged perpetrator of the murder of Skylar and announced that she would be tried as an adult. Sheila was indicted by the grand jury on September 6, 2013, with 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of first-degree murder, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. Sheila pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The date of the trial was originally set for January 28, 2014. However, facing the prospect of charges from Pennsylvania in addition to the charges in West Virginia, Sheila pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison with mercy under the West Virginia law. She is eligible for parole after serving 15 years. Pennsylvania did not press charges as per the plea deal. Rachel got 30 years in prison and is eligible for parole after 10 years. Both women are held at the same prison, at the Lincoln Correctional Center in Mason County. So after all of this happened, if you remember in the beginning, her parents wanted an Amber Alert. And the police refused to give them that Amber Alert because they felt like she was a teen runaway. She didn't fit all the criteria. They were not giving them what they wanted. So after the court and hearing what this horrible thing that the parents had to hear, that these 2 girls that were in their house that they loved like their own, they went on vacations with these girls, Mary literally cried in Sheila's lap on the first couple of nights that Skylar was missing. And Sheila was coming over and helping them search and everything. After hearing all of this and not getting the Amber Alert, her parents went and fought for a law. And it's called the Schuyler Law. And the Schuyler Law is an Amber Alert. It says an Amber Alert was not issued in the Neese's disappearance because the circumstances did not meet all 4 criteria for an alert to be issued. Now, these are what issues an Amber Alert. 1, a child is believed to be abducted. 2, the child is under 18. 3, the child may be in danger or death or serious injury. And 4, there is significant information to indicate the Amber Alert to be helpful, and a waiting period of 48 hours has to elapse before a teenager could be considered missing. So, a West Virginia state legislator from the Neese's family home district introduced a bill called the Schuyler Law to modify West Virginia. The Amber Alert plans issues immediate public announcements when any child is reported missing and in danger, regardless of whether the child is believed to be kidnapped. Opinion columns appeared in both West Virginia and the national media in support of the Schuyler Law, some of which also acknowledged circumstances and drawbacks of the legislation. On March 27, 2013, the West Virginia House approved Schuyler's Law 98-0. On April 12, 2013, the West Virginia Senate anonymously passed the law, but made minor technical changes to the bill, which the House of Delegates voted to accept on the same day. West Virginia governor signed the legislation into law in May of 2013. So, what gets me about this case is that, like I said in the beginning, yes, teenagers, when you hang out all the time, you fight, you don't get along, blah, blah, blah. But the other thing that gets me is she went missing in July. She was not found until, I minimized you guys. She was not found until, what did I say? What did I say? I know it was a while. What did I say? She was found. Crap. On March 13th, 2013. That's when they found her. So March 13th, 2013, she went missing July 5th, 2012. Okay? On March 13th, 2013, U.S. Attorney issued, yes, January 16th, sorry. They announced it on March 13th, but she was found January 16th. You're right. My bad. January 16th, 2013. She went missing in 2012. They have video camera of her getting into a unknown vehicle. Whether it looked like she was skipping and jumping going in there, how did they not do an Amber Alert? 2, why did it take them so long to talk to the friends? Why did it take the FBI so long to get in on this case? Why did it take so long for them to start interviewing her best friends, the ones that would know everything? And I just think that Sheila and Rachel are twisted. For Sheila to go to the Neese's house every single day and cry with that mother, knowing you murdered her daughter, that's twisted. That is twisted. Rachel, on the other hand, Rachel couldn't handle it. Rachel was not the mastermind of this. Sheila was. Rachel followed Sheila. And if you watch the trial, which I did, you can tell. Sheila was the mastermind of it all. Rachel just wanted to fit in and didn't want to be Skyler. Didn't want to be on Sheila's hit list, so she went along with it. When they murdered Skyler, Rachel was another student into the band. She was into the band. She was into performing arts. She was a straight A student. After the murder, she had to keep this horrible secret. She lost her cuckoos. She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She was cutting herself. She was not listening to her parents. She was fighting with them, refused to go to school. And her mom called and was like, and you can hear the 911 call, in one of the shows where Rachel is screaming in the background, like screaming in the background. And the mom's like, look, I can't handle her no more. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what's happened to her, but she's not my daughter and I need help. She's literally fighting her dad right now, punching him and biting him, and she wants out. And she ended up going to a psych hospital. And while she was in that psych hospital is when she finally told what her big secret was. Now, mind you, Sheila kept her part. Sheila was gonna take this for life. She still partied. She still got good grades. She go to the Neese's house and help them, do missing flyers and all this. She put on this beautiful act like she was just a morning best friend. Now let's get into that. Let me screen share some stuff with you guys that I found today. Because during this whole case, Sheila, I gotta pull it up. Sheila was, she was tweeting and stuff during all of this. And this kind of shows a lot of things. I'm going to try to start from the beginning because I took a lot of, let me see. We'll start right here. Hopefully I can, is it going to show? Why isn't it showing? Show. Hold on, guys. All right, now I gotta find it. Oh, why? Move over there. Okay, let me share this. Let me go to big screen for you guys. Okay, so everybody knows this is Skyler. Beautiful. She has the most beautiful eyes, and she was a petite girl. She was like a very short, petite, funny girl. Loved everybody. Let's see if I can get all these pictures. No, wrong way. Let's go this way. Now this is them being best friends. So Skylar is here. The red hair is Rachel, and the dark hair is Sheila. Now this is where Skylar was found, but her family had taken this horrific scene and made it into a memorial. They go here all the time. I bet you if you found this place, you would probably see her parents there every day. When the last time they were interviewed, they at least go once a week and sit at this bench and think about their daughter, their only daughter. And so this is what it looked like before they made it. This is the place they went that night to smoke their pot and thought that she was just hanging out with her good friends. This is her father, David, and he is starting to put things up that makes him think of his daughter, butterflies, stuff like that. This is her mother, Mary, and this is David. I just wanted to let you guys see what they look like so you guys can put a visual. This is Sheila at court, and can you see that smirk face? If you watch that trial, that's how she is all the time. She is laughing, giving dirty looks. You would think that she thought that, because of all the media attention, that she was some kind of superstar and not somebody that's on trial for murdering her best friend. This is when they got arrested. This is Rachel, and this is Sheila. Now, during the trial with Rachel, Rachel cried through the whole trial, was inconsolable. Rachel is the one that actually gave an apology to the Neeses, but David actually told them that they could take their apologies and shove it straight up their ass, is what he said. And he said, excuse, sorry to the judge, but their sorries don't mean shit. This is them at trial. This is Rachel, and this is Sheila. Here they are again. Here they are again. Just being typical 16-year-old girls. I want to slap the smirk right off her face too, sunny side up. Now, mind you, if you guys look it up and you look for like Dateline, right? Good, Top Cop, good for the dad. If you watch the Dateline show on this, there's a video that Rachel was recording, and it was 2 weeks prior to the murder, and you can hear Sheila ask Rachel and Skyler how they would like to die. Would they like to be drowned or suffocated? That was one of the questions. The other one, would you rather be shot or stabbed? That's another question. And I just found that very eerie, knowing that it was 2 weeks prior, and they said that these two girls were planning this murder for months. This was not like a spur of the moment, kids get mad and want to kill. These girls literally planned it step by step for months because they didn't want to get caught. And the sad thing is if Rachel didn't have a psychotic break, which I'm thankful for, I don't know if these girls would have ever gotten caught, because they had it down pat. Like, even if they saw the sedan, they said that, yeah, we picked her up. We're not denying that, but we dropped her off at the end of the road. They got rid of all their clothing in a dumpster, not near their house. They wiped everything down. They had all of it planned. And it shows how well they had it planned for how long it took law enforcement to break this case. And that is sick, coming from 16-year-olds planning this killing. It just blows my mind. This is Dave and Mary sitting there. And this picture just breaks my heart, because this is how they have to go to try to remember their only child, the only one they had. And it's just heartbreaking to see this picture. This is what it looked like. Like I said, there's a stream right here, and I tried to see, because it said they dragged her, but there's a stream right here, so they had to have been right around here. But they were going to probably try to bury her here or over here. I'm not sure. There's her parents. Okay, so this is the sedan. This is the black and white video that they got from the apartment building. So here is Rachel and Sheila pulling in their sedan. This is Skylar walking to the sedan. This was the last video that her parents had. This is the travel that let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. It was a 37-minute ride from Skylar's home all the way to Pennsylvania. It took them 37 minutes that they rode with their best friend in the back seat, knowing on the count of 3 that they were going to kill her. They planned it where they were going to say they forgot their lighter, so Skylar walked back and got her lighter, and then she came back, handed them the lighter, they started counting to 3, and boom, they started killing her. This is them having fun, just being typical 16-year-olds. Now, this is a post that Rachel made. In the last couple of years, that way I could have been there for her to talk to and confide in. I miss her like I lost my other half. A lot of people tell me I'm lucky I wasn't the one found in a ditch, but I really believe she was just involved with the wrong person. Here's Skyler. Now this date, she kind of knew something was going on. So this date was July 4th. This is when she said, I'm sick of being at fucking home. Thanks, friends. Love hanging out with you all, too. So this was the day before they took her. This is the chair that she had outside her window. Because she was short, she couldn't jump back in her window. And she would put this stool down every time she snuck out. So when she came back in, she wouldn't wake parents. Now this is Sheila. These are Sheila's tweets. Let me see. Oh, I enlarged it too much. This is February 13th. I love having the upper hand. This is, can I just say again that I absolutely love having the upper hand? It's pretty awesome. I can block someone from my thoughts completely as if they never existed. This was in April 1st. We really did go on 3. We really did go on 3. And she tweeted this thinking it was funny because her and Rachel only knew what we really did go on 3 meant. But now the whole world knows what that meant. Oh, let me enlarge this. This was August 10th, 2012. All I want is for my best friend to come home. I wish I knew something to give the police a lead or so she can come home, but I don't know anything. I'd do anything to have her home right now, and I wish I knew something like everybody thinks I do. Come home, Skylar. It's been 5 weeks too long. I love and miss you. Now, if you look underneath, David Neese wrote, Skylar's father wrote under this post. He said, hang tough, babe. Don't let them get you down. We love you. So here's this man that just his child is missing, and he is trying to comfort her best friend because he didn't think that they would hurt his child. And the whole time, that's some twisted stuff right there. That is twisted. This says, I'm full of them on 3. That was a good idea. We really did go on 3. On 3. Still, make a move. Still waiting. Just waiting for you to make the move. Or me too. Still waiting, just waiting for you to make a move. That Sheila girl was nothing but bad news. I was just watching a review of this story. This story is awful. It really is, Ginger Rocks. Then she writes, on November 5th, no one on this earth can handle me and Rachel. If you think you can, you're wrong. Pure evil is right, Top Cop. Then Sheila finds out that Skyler is gone. So she writes, rest easy, Skyler. You'll always be my best friend. I miss you more than you could ever know. Then Sheila writes, on March 13th, worst day of my whole life. They say you remember the past better than it really was. Yes, Evil Ape, yes. That was part of it. They tried to say it was because they just didn't like her and they just didn't want to be friends with her anymore. But as the people researched, her and I believe it was her and Sheila that had lesbian encounters, and Sheila was worried that that Skylar was going to expose that. But yes, that's what I heard also. So she does the song lyrics. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? 2 hours later, Skylar's body is finally identified. So Sheila tweets, worst day of my whole life, the pain is real. So she puts the song lyrics, then Skylar's found, and now she, it's, I know, song lyrics, right? This is another one. They say you remember the past better than it really was. Sheila writes, ain't no rest for the wicked. I hate seeing or hearing things that remind me of you because you are the last person I want to be reminded of. Yeah, I wish they would lock him up and throw away the key, but Sheila gets, an option for parole in 15 years, and Rachel gets the option for parole in 10 years. So these girls, they went away when they were 16. They still have a chance of a life. And I don't think they deserve that, because Skylar didn't. I think I showed this one. I don't think I showed this one. I know I showed this one. It's pretty awesome. I can block somebody from my thoughts completely as if they never existed. Tired of losing sleep over this. This was July 2012. July 8th, mind you. Now, thank you, Evil Ape. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So you got to think. They had taken Skylar on July 5th, murdered her between July 5th and late of July 5th, early July 6th. Here's July 8th, and Sheila is tired of losing sleep over this? Are you kidding me? Now, this is Skylar. Now, if you look at the dates, July, you're doing shit like that is why I'll never completely trust you. Stress will be the death to me. Sick of, and these are that night that, remember, this is the other one, sick of being at fucking home, thanks friends. These were that fight that I was telling you about. So Skylar knew something was up, and she knew that she could never completely trust these two girls. But she wanted to be their friend. She wanted to see the good in them, but she knew not to trust them. I just wish she knew not to trust them a little bit more. The worst, they are eligible for parole. They both are a threat to society. I agree, Top Cop. I can't even believe, because Sheila got life. Sheila got life, but because of the mercy law in West Virginia, she has the option of parole in 12 years, or wasn't it? And Rachel, she gets parole in only 30 years because she's the one that told. She was the one that, well, it happened in 2012, and they said that Rachel is eligible after 10 years, and Sheila is eligible after 12. Now, this is a heartbreaking picture. That this man has to go mourn his child at the place that she was murdered, and has tried to make it as pretty as possible, but you can just see the hurt, and this was just a heartbreaking picture for me. It was just a heartbreaking picture to see. Now here's Skylar again, tweeting yet again, you doing shit like that is why I will never completely trust you. So she knew not to trust these girls. I wish she never would have gotten that car that night. So those are the pictures that I had for you guys. And like I said, pretty interesting stuff, knowing not only did Sheila go to the parents' house and help them mourn the loss of their daughter, or all of this, even helped them with the missing flyers and stuff, and then all of this, and then keep tweeting stuff like she thought it was funny. This girl does not deserve to be out. Wow, that's sooner than you think. The family of the victim will have a major impact on that. I hope they live to attend it, because they are very overweight and not hating. Yeah, and they're older. They're an older couple too. And I think that's why Skylar was an only child, is because they started late. I don't know if they had fertility issues or not. It doesn't really matter. But Skylar was their only child. And it's just heartbreaking. It's a really heartbreaking case, and if you guys really could take the time out and try looking it up, try watching like Dateline or something, the story about it. There's a documentary type when the father and the mother talk and stuff. It's really a heartbreaking case. Unfair. Skylar was sentenced to death, and her executioners will walk free one day. Totally agree, Carla. It pisses me off too. And that's what pisses me off, though, is, people murder people, and these people can't hug their families anymore. Their families can't say they love them. They can't watch this child have kids of their own. They don't get to become grandparents, nothing. But these two girls that stabbed their best friend 50 times, buried her in rocks, covered her in dirt and tree branches, and left her there to rot, gets a chance to have children, has a chance to have a life. It just makes shit all ass backwards. But then there's drug dealers, sorry, and then there's people that get arrested for drugs, and they get more time than the people that murder people. Sometimes it's pretty crazy. Not saying drugs are, good or anything, but you know what I mean? You're watching drug dealers And drug pushers get more time than people that are murdering people. Oliver killers are walking free. Yeah, with friends like those, who needs enemies? Exactly. So I hope you guys liked the case, as heartbreaking as it was. I hope you guys liked it. Where do children learn to hate so intensely like this? I would like to know. I would really like to know. Because it's not like these girls were raised in a bad home. That's the other thing. They killed Shan over, yes, you're right, 1 hour drive, Floor. Yep, they did. That was one thing when I looked into it also. It's not like Sheila and Rachel came from bad homes. It wasn't like they were brought up and they were into these, bad homes. Not saying that excuses people's behavior by any means, but these girls were like the suburb kids, where they had the mom and the dad both in the household. They went to church. They were in the choir. I mean, they both came from good, wholesome homes. So that's when there's just an imbalance in somebody's brain. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall the day the one gal went crazy and had to be committed. She snapped and confessed. Yes, she did, Evil Abe. I would have too. Actually, you can hear her freaking out during the 911 call. In one of the documentaries, they have it playing, and the mother is calling, and you can hear Rachel losing her mind in the background. And the mom saying, "Can you get here? She's biting my husband. She's kicking him and biting him, and I don't know what to do with her anymore." Woo woo! You got a hairball? You okay? Go get a drink. Go get a drink, crazy dog. Sorry, woo woo had a hairball. Oh yeah, you're right, Jenna. I forgot. That was great. Yeah. Woo woo. Go get a drink. You okay? Sorry, tending to the dog. Dog is hacking up a hairball. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the case. I will be working on another case. I did talk, I think Pink was in Carlos this morning, and it kind of bummed me out because as everybody knows, that I'm planning on going to Salem on the 24th to do a stream while I'm in Salem. I want to stream while I'm there, and I kind of want to tell a story about, Salem, what happened in Salem and stuff, but I guess Salem has pretty much closed down the tour. I guess they still have the stores open and stuff, but they have the stores open and stuff, but it was really backed up. I'm still gonna go because I'm not gonna take anybody's word for it, but I hope you guys know that I might not be able to get into the buildings. I'm hoping I'll be able to. Hopefully by next week, fingers crossed, they'll be able to figure it out. I'm going to look in. I'm thinking I looked today and there was a number I could call. So I think I'm going to call and see how locked down they are. But we have that to look forward to. Fingers crossed. I will keep you guys updated on that. Okay, Ginger Lux, I will look for that case. I know that a couple of people have sent me cases that I'm going to be looking into. Misdemeanor is one of them. Samara was one of them. I'm going to be looking into those cases and hopefully being able to do them. Like I said, I had some personal stuff going on, so I had to set my crime stuff aside, but now I'm back at it. So bear with me. I am going to try to push out as many crimes as I can. I think the everyday thing is not working because it's a lot of research. And I want to be able to give you these cases accurately and not rushed. So I'm thinking I might do every other day. That will give me a day to be able to, a whole day to be able to do the research and then do a crime. Oh, Samara, thank you. That would be great. Oh, thank you, 1 hour drive, Laura. That's so nice. Hey, Pittsburgh girl, how are ya? Okay, I'm all right, guys. That's awesome. Thank you, Misdemeanor. Yeah, so I got some friends to help, so hopefully I can start banging out some more cases. I love all of you guys being here. Remember, I will be here Wednesday morning for Wednesday Morning with Jenna Moon. Everybody, Carla will be live tomorrow morning, so look up, hold on, let me write it in my book. Oh, I don't have my book next to me. I can write it on this. I'll write it on my calendar. Jennifer Keese. And who sent that to me? 1 hour drive floor. Because I like to give credit to the people that make me look at cases so I can say, hey, you know, I picked your case, blah, blah, blah. Oh, thank you, Austin. I love that you guys are all here. I will definitely look into her case. Oh, birthday stream tomorrow. Be there, be square. Birthday streams are always fun. So again, thank you. Thank you, Top Cop. That means a lot. Thank you, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you could hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, either one, I like either one. Share me with your friends so we can get my sub count up. Let's share. Cypress, thank you. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your night, rest of your day. I will definitely see you guys Wednesday morning. Everybody stay healthy, stay happy, and stay you. Thank you, guys. Bye.